Okay. So that concludes the junior teams. We have 3 senior teams. Our first senior team is Riptide 2655. Hello, 2655, Riptide. Whenever you're ready, the judges are getting ready. Switching categories, judges.
Hey, I'm here.
Here he is. Oh, look at that.
My camera wasn't working for a sec.
It's how it goes. Okay, so
Yeah.
Judges, are we ready? Judges are ready? Okay, whenever you're ready.
All right. I'm actually going to start out with my screen already shared. Okay. Hi, my name is Abyss, and I'm a senior at Northville High School. My team name is Riptide. My team number is 2655, and this is my kinetic sculpture for the ROBOARTS senior category. So, as the only submission to the senior ROBOARTS kinetic sculpture category, I'd like to give some background on what a kinetic sculpture and kinetic art in general actually is. So, kinetic sculptures are just like any other sculpture, except for the fact that they're in continuous motion. Power supplies range from wind to heat to water to whatever the artist deems appropriate for their piece. I used electricity and EV3 motors. Kinetic art began in the early 20th century and it did not become a major artistic movement until the early 1950s. Although nobody knows who created the first kinetic sculpture, the forefathers of kinetic art are widely accepted to be Jakob Agam, Alexander Calder, and Jean Tinguely, my favorite of which is Alexander Calder. And he actually is what partially inspired me to create my piece. So my piece, Riptide, uses simple rotation and twist mechanics to simulate an ocean wave. My inspiration for this was, first off, Alexander Calder. I just found his work very mesmerizing and inspiring, and I wanted to be a part of it. My second inspiration were the waves at a lake near my house. I've been rowing crew for my high school for 4 years now, and my favorite thing to do while I'm rowing is just to watch the waves. I find it very calming, and it helps me focus and just zone out and really just calms me down. So my artwork consists of 6 rotating tentacles that rotate at select intervals and different ratios, and they just miss each other as they rotate, and this to me forms a sort of wave mechanic. And as they rotate, they also begin to twist and turn, and this also to me represents kind of the bubbling and twisting of a riptide. So this is my code for the project. It begins with the viewer touching a touch sensor to activate it. And then, as you can see on the bottom, I have motor B stays at a constant rate the entire time. But motor C starts out at the same rate as motor B. So this means it's kind of like a flat, just rolling kind of motion. But then motor C begins to speed up. And so this, as one side speeds up and the other side stays at the same speed, it sort of twists the tentacle into a spiral. And then it holds this spiral shape for about 5 seconds, and then it untwists the other way, all the way back around, and then holds the reverse spiral for another 5 seconds, and then it begins to cycle over again. And so now I have my demonstration. I think you guys can see that.
Yes, looks good.
So it starts out with these 2 big EV3 motors on the sides, and they're each connected to their own gearbox for torque production. And then each gearbox is hooked up to this array of motors along the edges, and it totals 36 motors in all. And you see each gear is connected to its own tentacle. Tentacles are made out of flexible plastic tubing pieces and the elbow axle connector pieces.
Time is up.
And so now you can sort of see as they're at an angle, as they twist and kind of form a spiral. And as the cycle continues, they'll begin to untwist and twist the other way, all
Your
while
time is
performing
up.
this wave.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we were able to see your project. It's time for our Q&A. So judges, do you have any questions you'd like to ask?
Yeah, hi, Adam. Wow, that watching your robot is calming. It does have the motion just like a wave. It's very natural. Have you ever thought of putting like a piece of really thin and light silky cloth over that to see how it would look like a wave? Like have something that shows the undulations?
I have thought about it, and I experimented with different ideas for putting either sort of like lights along the tentacles or like a sheet over it to more explicitly show the wave. But I found that the sheet was kind of getting caught in the tentacles, and with the limitations of the Lego pieces, I couldn't get to work reliably. So this I felt was interesting enough to look at and calming enough that I didn't need any extra sheets or lights or anything.
It certainly is. Nice job.
Thank you.
Adam, do you see any practical applications for your robot?
In terms of practical applications, kinetic sculptures have become very popular in the last couple of years as wall art and decorations for people's gardens. People find them very relaxing and calming. And while I was actually working on this project, there were a lot of times when it wasn't exactly working correctly, and I was getting a little mad. So I turned it on and I just kind of watched the motion. I found it really helped me calm down and kind of just take a breather. And then I was able to come back and get it to work later.
Very nice, thank you.
I have a question. How did you figure out the programming? Did you have any references, or did you have to invent everything?
There are various kinetic sculptures that have a lot of kind of twisting and, it just a lot of moving parts kind of that just miss each other. But in terms of the way the tentacles twist, I don't really know how I came up with that, honestly. Like I was thinking of how can I make this thing more interesting to look at and more just fascinating. And I thought maybe if the tentacles themselves were moving and not just kind of static as they rotated. Then I thought, well, how can I get them to move? And the only input I have are the motors. So I just started experimenting with different motor speeds and ratios until I found one that works.
Your time is up.
Your time is up. Adam, you're very well spoken. You are honestly researched and informed, and that was a very impressive presentation. We thank you. Very nice job.
Thank you.
And we're going to move you back to the attendees and bring on our second senior team. We have team 2606, the robotic handbell team.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You have one camera, correct?
No.
Very good. Give us just a second. Judges, to go. Okay. The timer is set for 4 minutes. You may begin.
Hello, we are the robotic handbell team from Hong Kong. So here's come our first song. So now I'm going to talk about the feature. The robotic whisk is composed of the servo motor. It's turned to shake the handbell and make a note. So There's our three operation mode. Mode 1 is a song player. It can preload the whole song to perform. Mode 2 is a chord mode. The user switch to different chords with the foot pedals. And the robot will play the related chord, C chord, A minor, F, and G. Hey, Juno, showtime!
Yes.
Oh. Mode 3 is an instrument mode. We can use the electronic controller. For example, it's like a piano and fingering to play, and the robot will play the same note instantly. So, for the control system, we use Arduino as a controller. And we use PCA9685 as a servo motor controller. Since servo motor power HD B7 Pro with a response time of 0.06 seconds, it is suitable for a high-speed shaking movement. So there is a potentiometer to adjust the tempo of the song. So let me show you. We can turn left to make the song slower. We can turn to right to make the song faster. Our robotic handbell team is using the authentic handbell. So why do we have the robotic handbell team? Firstly, we like the tintinnabulation sounds of handbell. It brings us joy and peace. So I have a friend whose brother has autism. We want to help him and we read a lot of research on the internet. So some studies show that humanoid robots can improve their intersocial skills. And music is the best medium to attract their attention. To conclude, our robotic handbell team is a kind of performing arts. It can also help a lot of people, such as autistic children and the elderly. Hope you like our team. Thank you.
Very good. We like your team very much.
Thank you.
Very impressive. Well organized, well communicated. We're going to move into the Q and answer session.
Okay.
Judges, do we have any questions?
I have a question. So guys, very good presentation and very good integration of technology. How did you ensure that the sequencing between the sensors did not get off of the alignment with the music, right? So you had the music that had its own beat and tempo, and then you had to align that with the technology and the sensors. How did you do that?
We use a potentiometer to switch the tempo, and then we reprogramming the tempo.
Very good.
There.
Very good. There you go. Yeah.
So this is how we switch the tempo of the song.
So can you play a song manually? Or is everything pre-programmed?
可唔可以即係人手播嗰首歌，同埋就係係咪首歌係固定咗嘅？
好，夠啦。So we use mode 3. This is an instrument mode. So let me show you. we can use mode 2, which is an chord mode. So we use the foot pedal to make a chord.
Are you also musicians?
No.
Are you
No,
going to
but-
sell that?
Well, you are now. You're robotic musicians. So
Time
beautiful,
is up.
beautiful job.
Nice job.
We're going to move you back to the attendees audience and bring up the last team. Very proud of you. Nice work.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have our last senior team, third and last, team number 3376-1. This is Visual Music Z.
Hello.
Hello, Visual Music Z. Let's check and see if the judges are ready. Judges ready? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we are good to go. You may begin whenever you're ready.
Hi. We are Visual Music Z, the new side of the music.
I am a designer.
I am the app developer.
I am the Arduino programmer.
And I made the electronic part. And my friend Michelle did the web page and the methodologic part.
Okay, first, if you search in Google Trends the word electric guitar, you will see that it's a big lag since 2004 until today. And with Visual Music Z, we're gonna change that. We're gonna relive the music and mix the classical with a modern with this project. We present the laser guitar.
It's a brand new instrument that functions with a MIDI synthesizer that sends note commands and also can send control changes like sound effects. It also has analog input devices like these potentiometers and this joystick module. It also works with serial communication devices like this Bluetooth module, the MIDI synthesizer itself, and a TFT Next-Gen display. Now, let's talk a little bit about the code. The first part of the code is where the Arduino reads the data from the TFT and the Bluetooth module. The second part is where the Arduino reads the values from the potentiometers and the joystick module. And the third part is where the Arduino makes the notes. So depending on these variables, the Arduino decides to send or shut off notes or comments like audio modification.
Okay, let's talk about a little bit of the design. We used 3 softwares for the design. The first was Blender, next Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, and then we built a mobile application in Codular, a block system similar like MIT, and if you press this with a lead speaker, you can select our Bluetooth module, for example, this. And if you play, for example, this instrument, a flute, now the guitar sounds like a flute. Or, I don't know, I have a violin. And you can make some sequences with this mobile application.
Also, one of our purpose is to use it for rehabilitation and for stimulating the motor skills. In this case, specifically, we are looking for fine motor skills.
One more. We are developing now another application in native code in Xamarin for iOS devices because we wanted to launch this to the market.
If you want to know more about this and future projects, you can check out our social media and our webpage. This is Visual Music C, the new side of the music.
Oh, very entertaining. Thank you. It's time to move into our Q&A. Questions from the judges?
So I have a question. So the way the technology works, it's a laser guitar, right? That's how you guys present it, as a laser guitar. What would be the process for making my own, song or blending multiple instruments together? So like you can do the flute, you can do other things. How could I integrate that into one scenario that will be played by the guitar?
Okay, so the MIDI synthesizer we included in this model can play different instruments at the same time. For example, for making it possible, each one of the notes, each one of the strings sends a different note to a specific MIDI channel, like representing instruments. But in this case, the same instrument is used for the 3 channels.
That's pretty good, boys. That's pretty good. I have to admit, that's pretty good.
So the gentleman playing the guitar, are you also a guitarist?
Yeah, yes, well, no. I'm not a guitarist, but I am a pianist and a violinist, and I study some of music.
Okay. Okay. So would you say, so what was your inspiration for choosing a guitar, say, versus a violin or piano?
Well, now the electric guitar is declining. Only in Christmas the people buy electric guitars, and we wanted to relive the music. And if we mix the new with a classic, you can make some interesting things like this guitar.
Okay. And who was responsible for most of the programming, or was it pretty equally spread around the team? Okay.
Well, between me and my teammate Alan, but both of us work on the program.
And I for the mobile application.
Okay. Well,
You guys
fantastic.
are out of time.
Fantastic teamwork and coordination. Phenomenal presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, that was the last of the teams. Teams, I would like to let you know that you are the best in the world. So regardless of how the scores turn out, know that you are absolutely amazing. You're resilient. You overcame these pandemic situations and you moved forward and you're making the world a better place. So teams, coaches, thank you. Please walk away from this competition feeling very good about being part of making our world a better place. And I truly believe that you are going to be solving the world's problems. So in the words of Dr. Chung, keep learning. And Dr. Chung, would you like to say hello to the group?
Yes. Wow, it was so fun to watch all the creative and innovative projects today. Hello, I am CJ Chung, Professor of Computer Science here at Lawrence Tech and the founder of ROBOFEST. Thank you so much for your participation in today's ROBOFEST ROBOART competition. I would like to thank all the coaches, teachers, mentors, parents, volunteers, and of course, all the students. In addition, I cannot give enough thanks to judges today. First, Ms. Parks, can you raise your hand? As the competition chair and MC, she did an excellent job. Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
Judge, Professor Kao, thank you. Thank you for your participation. Ms. Pelonis, thank you. Mr. Santos, thank you so much. Professor Wetcher, thank you. Thank you for helping us today for judging. Mr. Young, thank you, Mr. Young. Oh, I forgot the timer. Mr. Oliver. Oh, he disappeared. Thank you. Coronavirus is trying to disconnect us, as you know, but we are all connected today.
Yes.
Coronavirus is stopping the world, but us. So I declare we won against the COVID-19. Everyone deserves a round of applause. So I play this. Yes, let's see you on October 17th at the closing and award ceremony. Thank you so much, everyone, and goodbye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.